Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Traveling Theorist. Today, I want to talk about the potion that Dumbledore drinks and what could be inside of it. Ah, yes, Albus Dumbledore, the greatest wizard of his age, the discoverer of the 12 uses of dragon's blood, known for his work in alchemy with his partner Nicholas Flamel, and most famous for his defeat of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald in 1945. Yes, that guy. I want to talk about what that potion was and the Half-Blood Prince that he drank. Which I'm not sure if any of you guys knew this. You might have known it. I didn't know it until just recently, but that potion is actually called the Potion of Despair. And let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I just want to talk about how extra Dumbledore was while figuring out what needed to be done with that potion. During that entire time, he's muttering over it, he's waving his wand over it, he's studying that potion. And when he decides that it can only be drunk, he conjures this ornate crystal goblet to drink it with. Why not just, a regular cup? Why has it got to be so extra? Why has it got to be a crystal goblet? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So, what got me thinking about this is actually thinking about Kreacher's tale when he tells Harry, Ron, and Hermione about his time in the cave drinking that potion, and Regulus's time drinking the potion, because Kreacher was there for both instances. And the first thing I want to point out is the similarities in Kreacher and Dumbledore and the way they reacted and how different Regulus was when it came to that potion and how that actually ties in to his very own brother, Sirius. So, let's start with Regulus. Regulus, when he drinks that potion, he orders Kreacher to swap the real Horcrux with the fake one and to go home and not tell his family what he had done, specifically his mother and father. And there's no indication that he went insane or saw terrible things. Unlike Kreacher and Dumbledore, who both, when they drink it, literally saw the same things that they would see if affected by a Dementor. And the reason I find it very interesting that Regulus did not show the same signs is because of how Sirius was around the Dementors while he was in Azkaban. He was there for 12 years and didn't go crazy. And I think a lot of it has to do with his grim determination to not let the Dementors get to him, and also because he knew he was innocent, which wasn't really a happy memory, as he says it. And so that, coupled with being an animagus and transforming into a dog, helped him survive 12 years and keep his mind intact and not lose all of his magical power. And as I said with Regulus, it was the same thing with that potion. He didn't really react to it. And I think it was because of his determination to now see Voldemort defeated. And he gave up his life for that cause. Creature and Dumbledore both reacted somewhat similar. Creature explains it that when he drank that potion, he saw horrible things and his insides were burning, and then he was hit by incredible thirst, like increased thirst, after he just drank something. So I realized how similar that was to how Dumbledore reacted, and also tying in what Harry says to Aberforth about what Dumbledore saw that night. Harry claims that Dumbledore saw the night that Ariana died, the fight between himself, Aberforth, and Grindelwald, and not knowing who killed Ariana. Which makes a lot of sense because he kept saying, "Don't hurt them, don't hurt them, hurt me." You know, and finally getting to the point where he's yelling to kill him, is pleading with this unknown assailant. And at the same time, he's well aware that he's in the cave with Harry, as he is also reliving this. And it's just like Harry's reaction and anyone else's reaction around a Dementor, because a Dementor causes one to relive their worst memories. So I got to thinking, okay, with that similarity, what part of a Dementor could possibly be in that potion? Now, we know for a fact that it couldn't be tears of a Dementor because, one, a Dementor has no eyes. And two, I highly doubt Voldemort would use tears in a potion. He's more likely to use flesh, blood, or bone. So, let's go ahead and rattle those three off and see which one is the most likely to be in that potion. So, we have no idea if a Dementor has blood or bone. The only piece of anatomy that we know a Dementor has is flesh, because Harry sees that the Dementor has a rotting corpse-like hand with scabby flesh. And we know the Dementor has no eyes because when Harry is about to get the Dementor's kiss performed on him and the Dementor lowers its hood, there's no eyes. And therefore there could be no tears. And once again, it's described the same way. Rotting, scabbed flesh. So the only thing that makes sense to me is the flesh of a Dementor being used in that potion, which totally fits for Voldemort. Voldemort used the flesh of a servant, the bone of his father, and the blood of an enemy, plus Nagini's venom in his resurrection potion, which leads me to what I believe the second ingredient is. So, we know he uses snake venom. He uses Nagini's venom in his rebirth potion, as I just said. And he also uses snake venom along with unicorn blood, once again, venom and blood, to create the potion that gave him a weak, rudimentary body after his attempt to steal the Sorcerer's Stone failed. So, obviously he likes to use these things: blood, flesh, bone, and snake venom. And so I got to thinking, okay, well, what type of venom would he use? Well, let's think about it. Which one did he use in those other two potions I just mentioned? He used Nagini's venom. I thought of her at first. The problem is, this instance where the potion is made, or at least when Regulus and Creature drink the potion, is actually right before Voldemort's downfall the first time. So it would have been at about 1980. And he wouldn't have even met Nagini at that point. He didn't meet Nagini until what? Right before Wormtail found him? But it was after Quirrell, but before Wormtail. And so it couldn't be Nagini's venom. So then I got to thinking, okay, maybe it's Basilisk venom. And I was like, well, he's got access to a basilisk while he's at school. But there are a few reasons where and why it couldn't be basilisk venom. Because one, he didn't find out about the Chamber of Secrets until his 5th year when he tells Harry, it took me 5 years to figure out everything I could about my ancestor Salazar Slytherin and the Chamber of Secrets. Took him 5 years. So, at the very least, he was in his 5th year. And he was a prefect. And we know that it happened the summer of 1943. And he left Hogwarts in 1945. So, it was in his 5th year. And he also told Harry, after he had framed Hagrid, that he knew it wouldn't be safe to open the chamber again while he was at school. And that's what led to the diaries, so that someone else could finish his job. That's one big reason right there why Voldemort wouldn't use Basilisk venom. Second reason, Basilisk venom is a weakness to a Horcrux. Both Harry and Dumbledore assumed, or guessed, and we all know Dumbledore's guesses are usually correct, but we know that they guess that Tom Riddle already knew how to make a Horcrux when he had asked Slughorn about how to make a Horcrux. So the first one that we know of is the diary. He preserved his 16-year-old self in the pages. So he hadn't killed his father yet, and he hadn't gotten the ring yet when he had killed Moaning Myrtle. He would be 16 in his 5th year. It happened in the summer of his 5th year. So therefore, he had already made a Horcrux before he even went and killed his father. And before he even asked Slughorn. And if he already knew how to make one, he would know what the weaknesses are, so he definitely wouldn't put a Horcrux that he's trying to keep safe with his potion, he wouldn't put a weakness to it in that potion, regardless of whatever he could do to try to make it fit. It wouldn't work. Yes, there are methods on how to get the Basilisk venom to destroy the Horcrux, but it is the venom that actually destroys it. You could take the Sword of Gryffindor, stab a Horcrux, and the Horcrux will survive. But you take the Sword of Gryffindor that is literally imbued with Basilisk venom, that's what destroys the Horcrux. Which, just a side note, did anyone else realize that in Chamber of Secrets, not only did Harry kill a Horcrux without knowing it, but he had 2 weapons to choose from, and he chose the Fang instead of the sword? It's very interesting that he chose the weapon of a snake, which is a symbol of Slytherin, particularly that basilisk, because it was Slytherin's. He used Voldemort's own ancestor's monster against Voldemort. I just find that funny. So, third reason why it wouldn't be Basilisk venom. The only other time he went to Hogwarts after he left Hogwarts was to interview with Dumbledore about the Defense Against the Dark Arts station, or position, sorry. But all he was really worried about was hiding the diadem that was a Horcrux. And this was also right before he declared war against the wizarding community. I actually have a whole nother video for that one. I'm going to do like a whole timeline of Voldemort's life. So, you know, I'm going to try and break down where he went in the 10 years that he was supposedly gone. Or at least give, you know, likely reasons. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. I'm not getting into that now. Anyways, so then I got to thinking, okay, if it's not Nagini and it's not a basilisk, what type of snake venom causes increased thirst? And so I got to thinking about it, and I pulled up, you know, handy dandy Google, and I looked it up, and you will not believe what I found. I found that rattlesnake venom is what actually causes increased thirst. No other venom had that as a symptom. They all had this similar symptoms or the same symptoms, but rattlesnake venom was the only one that popped up with increased thirst. You know, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, you know what? No, this was in the UK, and rattlesnakes are native to America. Well, that may be the case, but there's a few different ways that Voldemort could get rattlesnake venom. One, he did work at Borden and Burke's. You really think it would be that hard to find rattlesnake venom there? No. He could have utilized his, you know, partial tongue abilities at a zoo and told the rattlesnake, hey, I'm taking some of your venom. And the snake would just lay there and let him do it. Or he could have gone to America. He could have came to America. He could have gone to anywhere in America and just grabbed a rattlesnake and brought it back with him, or saved the venom to bring it back with him for something else. Either way, it is entirely possible for him and plausible for him to get rattlesnake venom. Anyways, that's all I've got for you. Those are my two possible ingredients of the Potion of Despair. Let me know what you guys think. Could these two ingredients be a part of the Potion of Despair? I'd really love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. And I just want to point out that the name of the potion is Potion of Despair. And what does a Dementor do? Just think about that for a second. You know, just think on that. And while you're thinking on that, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. That way you can get notified of future content. I am G.I. Jabs. I'm the Traveling Theorist, and I will talk to you guys later.